Welcome to Morning Glory. We're here in the Napa Valley, enjoying our time, being able to share with you little nuggets. Today, our theme is watch out for the wedges.
The wedges or the wedgies?
We're going to stick with wedges.
Okay, wedges.
Those things that can get between a relationship and cause a rift.
Oh my.
Reminds us of when we would be giving each other a hug when the kids were small, and we literally would have them come between us. And maybe you've experienced that, where your kids are pushing you apart, trying to separate you, or trying to get in and join in on that hug, but coming between the two of you.
Generally trying to wedge in between us. That was always cute, right? You know, you've probably experienced that if you have children, or, you know, your kids get in there, they want to be in on that group hug, right? But you know, they wedge themselves in there, and it's all fine and dandy, and in its place. But you know, it's not fine and dandy when things wedge in on our lives, right? I remember when our kids were little, back to having children. Our three daughters were pretty closely spaced together, and it seemed like there was like 5 years where they would be joining us in our bed at night, right? And they'd come down from their bedrooms or whatever and jump in bed, right? And they would never try to sleep on one side of us, right? Their goal was to get between us, right? They wanted the mom and dad sandwich thing, right? Which is all cute and all that kind of stuff. And after 5 years of that, not every night, but it seems like a lot, right? You kind of go, I'm kind of done with children wedging between us. It's cutting in on my action. Right? I shouldn't say that, but I'm saying it, right? The kids can't always cut in on your action, right? And you know what? Life is that way. You got to be careful. There's a lot of things that will wedge between you and your spouse, right? There's a lot of things that will can come between us.
Well,
right?
Satan's goal is to destroy the marriage, and he'll use seemingly harmless things. It may be work, it could be ministry, lots of different things that can wedge in between.
Hobbies,
yeah.
Golf maybe, fishing maybe.
Right.
Taking
that place where you no longer feel like you're that significant and you have that priority, but instead all the time, and the spouse can be consumed in a whole different area, whether it's child raising because of the energies that requires, getting a job and profession off the ground.
Yeah, I think of, I remember in those early days we used to talk about the fact that we didn't want to be a child-centered house, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, child-centered marriage, where like everything was about the kids, to the neglect of each other, right? That's allowing kids to wedge, drive a wedge between us. Well, there's just lots of things that can drive a wedge between us, isn't there? You got to be careful. There's people that can drive a wedge. There's seductive people out there. Did you know that the enemy doesn't want your marriage to work, right? And he can plant somebody in your path that can seduce you and take you away from the one that you fell in love with. That's what the scriptures say. Solomon said that. Solomon said, "My son, be careful on the path that you put your feet on, because there are people that will cross your path who have a different motivation," right? And so you got to be careful. There's lots of things that can drive a wedge between you and your spouse. You didn't get married to be split apart. You didn't get married. You didn't go to the altar to one day have something come between you. It might be bitterness. It might be anger. For a lot of people, that's what it is, right? They get angry because their spouse disappointed them, and they don't forgive. They hold on to bitterness, and after a while, that bitterness begins to, get right between you, and you start to feel like you're coming apart. So, I guess a question I would have for those of you that are, in relationships, are there any things right now going on in your life, or some things that you're beginning to sense maybe wedging in between you and your lover, right? If there is, you need to really take those things serious, right? Don't let anyone wedge in. Don't let anyone cut in on you, right? Because the goal is to go the distance, right? You want to go the distance, right? And so, for us, 32 years of marriage is wonderful. We're glad about that. We feel good about that. But you know what? We're not done yet, right? The race isn't over yet. They say you're not done until you're done, right? And so, for us to continue on this road and hopefully have not the perfect marriage, because there's not a perfect marriage, but to have a good one, right? To have one that has some flame burning in it, right? I think we need to, we're doing our best anyway to make sure that we watch out for the wedges, right? We don't want anything to wedge between the love we have for each other, the destiny we have, the legacy, maybe is the better way to say that we want to have, right? As a husband and wife that loved each other for a lifetime. And so, anyway, I hope that was helpful to you this morning. We're enjoying doing these videos. If you are enjoying listening to them, maybe you could like it on Facebook or Instagram, share it, but most importantly, live it, right? Put this stuff into practice. It works. It works, right? Wisdom pays off when you apply it to your life. And all we're trying to do is say, not that we got all the answers, we don't. But we've gleaned some things along the way, and one of those things is that we got to watch out for the wedges. So with that said, God bless you. Hope you have a great day. Hope you enjoy your spouse today, wherever you're at, okay? Peace out.